What are some of the pressures maybe fans don't realize about being such a heralded recruit like yourself and being a five-star kid? I mean, yeah, you can say I don't pay attention to that, but there's still unfair expectations. And you mentioned Keon Johnson, Jaden Springer, how well they did come in, but they also had you as a sophomore, Fulkerson as a veteran, Pons even more experienced, Vescovi, as opposed to the situation you and Santiago came into last year. So, they've had been able to come along and have a little bit more of a growth period where the expectations were high, but they could defer some and coach could bring them along slower as opposed to you. And it's like, oh yeah, that's the five-star kid. I've never seen him play, but I'm guessing he's going to be one and done and be the greatest player we've ever seen.
Yeah, there definitely are some unfair expectations that come along with it. And I wish I could say that it didn't get to me or it didn't affect me. But yeah, the expectations of the ranking of a five-star or guys who are supposed to be one and done. Like I just tried my best not to pay attention to it, but I went through a period last year where I was really struggling. I'm supposed to be this great player, and I wasn't really performing well. And that's when I really got close to my teammates because they knew what I was capable of. The coaching staff knew what I was capable of, and I just tried to block out the outside noise and not really worry about things that I can control because everybody has their own opinion. Everybody wants to be able to do this, do that. But just listening to the people who care about you most and who are around you most and have your best interest, that's really what I tried to focus on. And with Jaden and Keon, they had some of the same expectations as me. And I told them from day one, like, don't worry about anything on the outside. Just worry about getting better each and every day and control what you can control. And that was really my message to them. And I think I know for a fact they're handling it a lot better than I did last year. But I just wanted to be a mentor to those guys, being kind of in their same situation last year where I was a highly heralded recruit. But me being more mature than I am last year, I just focus on things I can control. And I can't control what people say about me, but I can control the work that I put in and what I do day in and day out.
Well, speaking of control what you can control, you, myself, or any of your other teammates, we can control whether or not we check Twitter. Tell the truth. Do you check social media after a game?
I don't check it. I go on it. And so Twitter is really the one that I try to stay away from. After a couple of days after a game, I'll get on it because I have a Twitter, but I don't try to follow anything related to Tennessee basketball, but I'll go on Instagram. I'll have some comments. But I don't go specifically to check. No, I stayed away from that. And Coach English made it a point to me last year. He was like, why would you let somebody's opinion affect your mood? And he put it in perspective to me, like, if you have a good game, why would you care about what anybody says about you? If you have a bad game, why would you let what somebody says who doesn't even know you affect your mood or affect you as a person and an individual? And so that talk with him last year really helped me out and put in perspective. So I do go on social. It's not like I'm in a social media hiatus.
What's the meanest thing somebody's ever said to you? The new athletic director White, everybody, he came out and said, hey, we need to be a little bit nicer on social media. But there's some truth to it. Like there
definitely is. I would say the meanest thing, I probably couldn't say it on here. Just I'm garbage or
yeah.
So in high school, I was the worst five-star recruit anybody's ever seen. Just things like that. People who have too much time on their hand.
Well, the folks that have listened to this podcast know I'm not afraid to admit. So Facebook had just come out when I was playing, and the Facebook group, Dane Bradshaw Blows, got started. And and the numbers were climbing every single game that I played poorly. So you're not alone, man. People are ruthless. But hopefully we were able to get the last laugh, and you're certainly laughing now as well to any of those critics.